What up? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And look at you. You done stumbled upon little OTB Saints, where we bring you all the latest black and gold coverage.
Who are the Saints going to draft? Who's going to be their quarterback? What does the salary cap look like? All that information and more.
Hope you enjoy it. Like, subscribe. Nick Underhill of neworleans.football. Nick _Underhill on Twitter. Nick, what's up, brother? What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, guys? How you doing?
How about it, dude? How are you doing? Huh?
I'm doing good.
How is life in the PC era of the New Orleans Saints? Post-Carr, guys. Post-Carr is not political. I just realized I stumbled into like a political thing. I mean, post-Carr is what I meant.
Yeah, but it feels good. It feels better. It feels lighter. It feels hopeful. It feels like there's possibilities and there's not limitations. And, you know, look, the thing is they're probably going to be bad. The question from here is, are they going to be bad and hopeful or bad and hopeless? And I think a lot of that's going to depend on Tyler Shuck. And if he's good and you win 4 games, you might end the season and feel like you're the Patriots. You know, the Patriots were not a good team last year, but they feel like they're in a good position.
Yeah.
If you win 4 games and you don't feel like you have anything possible at quarterback, you're probably in a bad spot. But I think even the thing with that is you'd be back in striking distance again to maybe draft somebody. So I like where they're at. I like how it feels right now. That might be a hugely regretful comment in a few months, but today, as it sits, I do think they're a worse team. I think their most talented quarterback is no longer on the roster, but B, I think they are in the place they should be. And it's kind of interesting because it felt like this was probably like about a 3-year soft teardown rebuild. Last year was year 1. They didn't really sign anyone. They were at the crossroads this year. Either it was cut Carr and not be able to do anything, or keep Carr and be able to do some things. And somehow they accelerated like year 3 into year 2 with how this all played out. So it's like they're basically at the end of this rebuild. Next year it's pretty clean. So yeah, I feel like they're in a good spot right now.
So look, it's really for real now a new era of, like, this is the actual first, I think, post Sean Payton year for the New Orleans Saints. Help me out with this, though, Nick, because the dead money next year, isn't that the last big bill to pay? So what, you're going to split Carr's 50 among 2 years, but then a lot of these vets, like, who knows if they'll be back or not? Couldn't you be looking at potentially like $100 million in dead money next season?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not done completely with the cap. This year it's $19 million for Carr. Next year it's at $31 million. So that's how those cap charges will split up. And yeah, there's a few guys that could end up leaving, but if they don't spend any more money, you got $27 million right now to roll over to next year. And I think they will spend a little more. I would bet like Asante Samuel Jr. ends up being on the team. They'll be a little bit over the cap going into next off season, and some of that stuff will go up a little bit, but it's basically done. Like, as long as you don't make any more reckless decisions, you don't do anything for short-term stuff. And yeah. I mean, that's fair. But yeah, I think they're basically at the end of it. I think they got forced into this rebuild to go all the way into it, to kind of accelerate it. And it is kind of amazing when you look at it, and it's a circumstance, not a plan, but somehow they managed to get both things. They got both scenarios with Carr. It was you could cut him and you'd have no money. There'd be no Justin Reed, no Chase Young, no Juwan Johnson, no Dylan Radins. Like, there would have been no money to do anything if you just cut him straight up. Or, there was the other kind, and somehow they combined the two into one very weird scenario. And I don't know how it happened. I don't know how it worked out. Someone on our website called it like the plot for draft day 2, because like it's just so unbelievable. And I mean, it really is. Like, they managed to make the most improbable circumstance play out here. And I mean, granted, they got lucky, but given the circumstances, they navigated it pretty well. And this multi-year thing, like, now just kind of got accelerated down to one manageable piece, and they're in a much better situation because of it. And it's funny too, like, the fallout from this is, if you just move on from Carr, does Cam Jordan agree to a pay cut? Does Tyrann Mathieu agree to a pay cut? Or are those big bills that you're trying to manage? And do you have to restructure them at their full cost? Because, I mean, I don't know. Like, I might be wrong, but I don't know if Cam Jordan wants to be here with given the choice, the last year of his career, does he want to spend it in a place that looks like he's going to win 4 or 5 games, or would he have wanted to go and try to win a title? Does Tyrann want to go somewhere where you're in a better, like, so all these things kind of played out around it that I think led to the best possible circumstance. And at the end of it, you end up without Derek Carr and without his money, and it just shouldn't have been able to happen the way it did.
How shocked were the people like inside the building though? Like, did they think this was ever a possibility, or were they probably playing out the other 72 things that potentially could end up happening for the New Orleans Saints? Like, I can't imagine, Nick, that many people inside the building thought that they would get blessed this gift.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, look, Kellen Moore kind of made it clear that it was something that kind of came together over like a matter of days. It wasn't like this happened in March and they knew he was going to retire. Like, it was weird. It was contentious. It was, I thought it was headed to a bad place for sure. And
were there threats of a grievance? The Saints filed a grievance against Carr.
I don't know. Nobody.
Okay.
Here's the thing with it. Like, they got to like an ending where I feel like everyone felt okay with it. And, reading the press release, it kind of felt like, man, like, did he give back the $30 million and like he chose the language, and like it just seemed like very amicable, favorable, like just get out of here, like go ahead, go live your life. In August, if Derek Carr goes to play football for another team, would I be surprised by it? I don't think so. A year from now, would I be surprised? Not at all. Do I think the Saints would try to hold on to his rights? I doubt it. Like, it just kind of feels like it was one of these things where like everybody was like, all right, this is the best thing. It can exit. It doesn't have to be ugly. But look, I don't know anyone that gets hurt on a football field and says, you know what, like, man, that ended my career. I ended it for you guys. I was trying to get a first down. My shoulder had a career-ending injury, and I'm just going to get back all the money and walk away. And I just wish you the best, but I'm going to be the one that's put out here and loses everything. I don't know that things have ever played out like that. Maybe Derek Carr is a very special person. Maybe his principles are stronger and better than anybody else's that I've ever met in my life. But it seems like there was still more to this story, but it just kind of felt like it got to an ending that everybody's okay with, and they're all just going to walk away from it. Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm being overly cynical, but yeah, I'm still looking at it with a funny look. Like, something doesn't smell right here.
I mean, do you agree with kind of Ross Tucker's read on the situation that this is almost a settlement of sorts, even as opposed to retirement?
That's kind of how it feels to me. Look, the whole thing's just weird, right? I mean, like, if you injure your shoulder in December, you don't try to throw again until March. Like, that doesn't make sense to me, right? Like,
yeah.
Well, like when I got COVID and I lost like my ability to smell, I was like walking around like sniffing a candle every 2 hours to see if it worked. You know what I mean? Like, if you get a sore tooth, like, you're sticking your tongue in there to see if it still hurts. Like, it's just a lot of it doesn't add up, and maybe it is all exactly as they say it is and all that. But I mean, I think any sane and logical person is still looking at this thing and being like, man, like, I don't know, like, there's a couple loose ends here that just don't really pass the smell test. Let me sniff that candle. Like, it just doesn't make sense on a lot of fronts. But it's over, and I think Derek can go off and go do whatever he wants. I think the Saints are in a great position. I'm happy they got forced into this because, really the whole place that they're at with this rebuild, it isn't where they were. It just never felt like they were going here willingly. It didn't feel like they wanted to move on, from the coaching situation, the QB situation, giving up on trying to win the NFC South. Not that I think they're giving up, but I think their ability to chase it is severely altered. And I think all this stuff needed to happen to kind of get in this fresh reset. And it just feels better. Like, Kellen Moore is the coach. Tyler Shuck is the quarterback. All the connections to the other thing are clear. T-Bob, I think you put it great, like saying it's kind of the first year of the post-Sean era. Yeah, I mean, it really does feel that way. And it just feels like they got there a lot quicker, and it felt like they were going to head there, but it was going to take longer. And the faster, the better at this point. I'm ready for him to be bad on purpose. And, I think a lot of people are. Like, as long as at the end of it, it feels like you made some good decisions in this draft, I think you're in an okay, maybe even a good place.
Wow, just amazing black and gold takes right there, Jake.
I don't think I've ever heard any takes that are better than the two guys that just gave you that take.
And you can keep getting them by going ahead and liking, subscribing, ringing the bell to get notifications when we post. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next OTB Saints.